You have her ID? Mrs. Ransom? Yeah. You're under arrest for your cell phone. No, I don't want to give it to you. Why do I have to?
Because my attorney said not to.
Why do I have to give it to you? This is evidence. Evidence. She's under arrest. I have to go with you. I have to go. I have to go. You don't have to go with me. Let me help you out. No, I have to stay. Please don't do this. Don't stay. You need to grab the bags. Take the bags. Yeah. And you need to wait outside. Okay.
My husband's almost 80 years old. He can't
Yeah,
come
I
with
can't.
me.
Please, can I go?
No, you can't join me there.
Oh, don't do this, please.
Please.
Oh,
Someone's got to help him get home. This is terrible. You can't do this. This is insane.
hold on to that for me.
Is that okay with you?
Please, give me that with handcuffs and we're stuck on the table. Please, please. You have anything in your pocket?
No, no.
Do you have anything of value in you?
No, I
Plus you have a necklace on. You
Wanna go?
can take
My-
it off.
I'll take it.
Yeah, take it off. Yeah.
And the earrings.
And the earrings.
You are listening to the Roberta Glass True Crime Report, putting the true back in true crime. From New York City, Roberta Glass is now on the record. Okay, that is better. How is everybody? What a day in court we had today. Donna Adelson's friends, Ron Gutterson and Annie, I feel like I can call her Annie. Anne Cunningham, my dearest friend, testified on her behalf, obviously lying, and to prove my case, I will play a video, but before I get into a video, and this is for another day, the defense put in a motion to basically acquit Donna and let her walk on some, just what every defense attorney does at every trial after the prosecution rests. They say motion to acquit. It didn't work, but what we did get, and I think it's a really nice outline of all the evidence against Donna Adelson. Sarah Dugan just went down one after the other. I was very pleased to see that when she came to Robert Adelson, and please check out the video that I released last night about Robert Adelson. It's in the video section. It's called Truth Tellers and Villains, Liars, Truth Tellers and Villains in Donna Adelson's trial. It's in the video section of my YouTube channel. But when it came to Robert Adelson, she said the two things that I thought were really important in his testimony. One was that it didn't concern her and that she was incredibly not curious, and that when he told her that he had spoken to the police, she said, well, you don't know anything anyway. Two really telling comments. I know everybody's been talking about her saying, erroneously describing the crime, that the killers went up to the door of the house. That may have been the real plan. And of course, that's very telling, but of course, that's very speculative. We don't know. There's a lot of defense excuses for that. Maybe Donna Adelson heard wrong. I don't know. Maybe it was a rumor going around Miami. Who knows? You know, defense attorneys can think up a lot of stuff. However, it's really hard to talk away. Well, you don't know anything anyway. Like, well, it's okay that you talk to the police. If you knew something, like we're all lawyered up because we know something. Back to Anne Cunningham and Ron Gutterson. I think this is awfully long. I edited together a video, one to up the volume in court on what we had today. It was a short day in court. And two, I wanted to play for you the last time we heard from Anne Cunningham and Ron Gutterson. They were just in the background of Donna Adelson incriminating herself, talking about fleeing to a non-extradition country. I think it's really important. I may skip around it a little bit, but it's really important for when you get to her testimony. And I think I'm going to concentrate on Annie today, and we can come back to Ron. He's less interesting. He's more or less an echo of their partners. Hate that word, partners. But he's more or less an echo of Annie. And then Annie had to come back, and then she lied some more. So she was all the way to the airport, and then she lied some more. It was a crazy day. Hold on 1 second. Carmela Riley, thank you so much for the super sticker. I really appreciate it. All your support of everyone just want to thank everyone who's donated via Venmo, buy me a coffee, become a new Patreon member. Thank you so much. You guys keep the channel going. This is a small channel, as you know, and I do rely on my listeners to support it. Okay, here we go. If you want to support the channel, links are always in the description of this and every episode. Venmo, buy me a coffee, Patreon, super stickers, super chats, all great ways to support the channel. Okay, here we go. The last time we saw them, here's the last time we saw Anne Cunningham and Ron Gutterson, or didn't see them, we heard them. That's a better descriptive. Let's take a look.
Mic check, Roberta strides through the static haze. True crime Gotham where the shadows play their plays. Fraudsters fold.
So she's offering them Diet Cokes, and then she's talking about ending it all. But let me just go, and she's complaining about Wendy. So I just want to, and talking about non-extradition countries. I'm going to get to that key part. I don't want to miss it.
Bondage told me my lawyer to call her lawyer if it's about the case. And I wrote back, it's not about the case. I have been reason. When I said, I just got off with Charlie, he's worried about you. He wants to know what, oh, because I said, yeah, we know you never ask anything about your brother, and she doesn't, and she told me it's because her lawyer said she shouldn't ask. But we found out it's not true. But we just got off the phone with him.
My attorney said no, and he asked her attorney. Her attorney said,
I never told her that.
but I've never confronted him.
No. So I wrote this last night. We know you never ask anything about your brother. This is 8 o'clock last night. But we just got off the phone with him, and the first thing he asked was, how's Wendy holding up? I didn't have the heart to tell him that you never called us or asked about him. I just said, we weren't up to phone calls right now. Everyone looks to protect you. I bet you've got a lot to think about. But then she didn't answer. But then I got another call from Charlie night, and I said, just got off the phone with Charlie. He's worried about you. He wants to know why we didn't speak. I told him a lie. I said, we're only speaking with you and Dan right now. I couldn't bear to tell him the truth. Your sister never even called us, is the truth. So she says this morning, I thought she'd be racing over here last night. Yeah. Dear Mom, I know you are upset by the verdict, but the anger directed at me is not justified. I don't know how much anger. really don't. I'm not responsible in any way for Charlie's situation. I am not guilty because I did not do anything wrong, and I was not involved in any way with Danny's death. When I was interviewed by the police and testified in court, I told the truth, as I was required to do. I cannot control how the prosecutor used my statements at Charlie's trial. Again, I didn't say that. Also, as you know, my lawyer has advised me not to talk to my family or anyone else about this case. No, about the case, which is true. We've never done it. I followed his advice despite your disagreements with this guidance. Please do not text me about this case anymore. Not about the case, is it? Not what I said. About her brother, and that he wants, how are you, Wendy? How's my sister holding up? Yeah. If you have anything further to say about the case, please go through our lawyers. Right now, I have to be singularly focused on taking care of the boys during this difficult time. So I wrote back, okay, we have no desire to speak with you about the case. I guess Dad and I are just shocked that you didn't think of coming to see us or even calling us. We are your parents. We are and have always been there for you and the boys. None of what we wrote matters about the case. That's over. I just want you to know how many times Charlie is asking about you. Not only do you not ask about us, but not one question about Charlie, right? We will need to give you some information shortly, and we need some business assistance. Please let us know if you can be of any help.
So for those that don't know, I'm speeding forward for those who have a PhD. In this case, for those that don't know, Donna Adelson was Charlie Adelson. To set the scene, Charlie Adelson had been convicted. Donna Adelson is closing up shop, setting her sights on a non-extradition country and getting ready to flee with Harvey. My theory is that she heard that they were looking to arrest her. Now, the grand jury meets that Wednesday. They've always said they stepped up the arrest. Now, maybe the grand jury wasn't meeting that Wednesday. Maybe they're going to meet another Wednesday and indict her. But she heard from Dan Rashbaum, her lawyer at the time, who was Charlie Adelson's lawyer too. Well, it's Charlie Adelson's lawyer. He didn't, and then he became her lawyer, that they were looking to arrest her. There's also, we saw a text message also in this trial where she's telling Wendy, I'm next. I'm next. So, yeah, that's the situation. She's sitting with her friends, Anne Cunningham, who's going to you're going to see her testify in a minute, and then Ron Gutterson. Then you're going to see Annie come back from the airport to testify some more after lunch. So here we are. She's trying to tell Wendy, I want you to help us with extradition. She's an immigration lawyer. And of course, she wants to tell Wendy that she's fleeing. That's really why she wants to talk to her in person. But Wendy won't come near her parents, didn't even check up on them after Charlie Adelson was convicted, nor did she ask how Charlie Adelson was holding up after he got essentially a life sentence. He hadn't been sentenced yet, but that was coming. He knew he had just gotten essentially a life sentence that was very hard to undo.
I have a space here. I want to give her codes. We're going to be gone. I want her to have all this information. I have the cemetery property. I want her to see all that. I want her to have all these papers and the wills. I want her to see all this. So please let us know if you can be of any help. The other thing is the visa, which she would know about. No, I said we need some business assistance. Please let us know. If not, we'll try to find someone who can help us. This needs an immediate reply so I can start asking other people to help. And then she always gets nervous if we want to talk to her. So I wrote, don't get nervous. Again, nothing, in capital letters, nothing about the case. Just would like to show you some business stuff and personal things. If you can't do it, we must find someone who can. I hope you understand that it has nothing to do with the case. There is no more case. And then I wrote, by the way, you said you have to focus on the boys. Have you told them? So when I got yours before.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to play that to Charlie Adelson or if they're saving that for Wendy's trial. Let me read it out loud so everyone knows what we're talking about. Roberta, are you surprised that they didn't play the alibi conversation? Donna saying she's so stupid, consciousness of guilt. So I think what you're talking about is I made a short of this where Charlie and Donna are complaining about how stupid Wendy was to drive by the scene of the crime after it happened, right up to the crime scene tape. And that obviously wasn't part of the plan. And Charlie says she left her alibi. But that's really something to convict. Yeah, you're right. It would be good to show planning. I don't know. It'd be great for Wendy, but now that I'm thinking about, you're right. It would be good for Donna. I don't know how she never says that wasn't part of the plan. But everybody who listens to that, you have to be just born yesterday to not understand that what they're complaining about is Wendy Adelson not sticking to the plan. But it's Charlie who says that she leaves her alibi. But they could say that. I think what Donna says, it's so stupid. She's saying it's so stupid, their theory, right? But she says she couldn't help herself. And then she laughs talking about Wendy, meaning she couldn't help herself driving by the scene of the crime. It's wild. It's very telling. I agree. I was shocked they didn't play it, but they have so much other evidence. Maybe we'll see it in Wendy's trial.
I said to him, because I was over there last night, I said, well, I asked Wendy, but I haven't gotten any word from her, so did she tell the boys? And he said, she did. Now, I know Ben was very close. She was writing to Charlie all the time. So I said, how are they? Ben was very quiet. He didn't really talk much. He said, Lincoln kind of faced it and said, so he's never coming home. He's never coming back. And so he said it took him 10 minutes and he was into basketball. I said, fine. He's a child. That's okay. I don't want to see them miserable and upset. That's not my goal. I just want to know how are they. So
I know boys and men have their way of dealing with things, but I worry when I hear that 10 minutes later, after he finds out his uncle, who he's writing to in jail and is very close to, gets convicted for life. I hope it's just that he's distracting himself with basketball and that he hasn't gotten the psychopathic gene, Ben, the older of Wendy and Dan Markel's two boys, the psychopathic Adelson gene.
That's what I said earlier to George, because it was technical stuff that I couldn't do on the computer. I think just because we were out of it. So he's a computer tech person. So I said, can you help me with some computer stuff that I can't get done? And he was on some business calls, so that he texted me just before I could be there, maybe 5:30. Would that be good? I said, yes, but if I can get stuff done, then it's no.
I told Rick we have the space in the passport.
We have the photos. We have to get them downloaded. And the other thing I don't understand, that my daughter could help me with, but we've been looking it up over and over, because things change if there is extradition from Vietnam. Because we've looked at all the places. I mean, I could go to Korea.
See, do you see that this is really key? So this is really key for the testimony coming up. That here is Donna talking to Anne Cunningham and Ron Gutterson, and we'll get into. I have a feeling we're not going to have time for Ron Gutterson's testimony. Let's see how it goes. It's very much the same as Annie's, in the same vein, with sort of a more manly style. But here she is, that she has no idea that Donna was looking for non-extradition countries. And here she is talking explicitly about that to them. They couldn't have missed it.
And China, but there's no extradition. But we're looking for places where there's no extradition.
In 15 minutes.
Who? Really? Good. Maybe she knows about. Maybe she can look up the extradition issue before we waste our time.
She can tell on you that my parents are thinking of leaving the country. My lawyer told us to do that.
There's Annie saying, is she going to tell on you? Why didn't they play this as a rebuttal? I don't know. I was totally surprised.
You mentioned it to Wendy. Is Wendy going to tell somebody?
Well, you tell her beforehand. I need to tell you something as an attorney who doesn't talk.
That's like one of my favorite lines ever from Donna. As an attorney, I want to tell you something. As an attorney who doesn't talk. It
has nothing to do with the case. It just has to do with Mom and I and some decisions that we have to make.
It just has to do with Mom and I and the murder that we did together. The murder.
Yeah, I know you want to bring her up and show her where everything is. Because in a plane crash, no one's going to know where anything is or who belongs to what. So I would like her to come up here so she could see it. I don't think that's asking too much. She can live 3 hours away. Every time she says, can you do this? Can you come here? Can you do this? Everything. How many times do we have plans that I really can't and have to cancel Wendy?
Okay, I'm going to move forward.
So we've been really good.
We've been really good nannies, and I guess too bad. Oh wait, I just have to hear this one. I love this slide. Hold on.
Nannies, and I guess our job is up because now the boys are older. They can go out with friends. They can do things on their own. So she doesn't need grandma and grandpa. Okay. Pretty hurtful. I have one son that I don't speak with. I have one son who's close to being dead. And my daughter, whom I love, is doing this. I don't get it. I said to Harvey, my God, our family was cursed. Absolutely cursed. And I don't know how to take care of it anymore. So
I love the repetition. We're cursed. Pretty helpful. You don't need old Grammy and Grampy anymore. You don't need old Grampy and Grampy. You don't need Grampy and Grammy anymore. They don't need the folksy old Grammy, the murdering grandma no more. Poor old little me. I mean, that's what you say. I love it. Pretty hurtful. But here's Anne Cunningham worried that Wendy's going to tell and talk. She going to tell on you? Is the authorities going to hear? Clearly. And look at Anne Cunningham is a devious number. Check her out. Here we are. Here she is, swearing under oath. I always get if you wonder why I always catch them taking the oath, because it's just a really important part of testifying. They've taken an oath, they've sworn to tell the truth, and then they come out with one lie after the other, because these people play by their own rules. She says at one point that her first husband died. It made me wonder if maybe she murdered him, with a smile on her face, the way she does, in a very cheerful manner. But she talks about her partner, Ron Gutterson. So that's her boyfriend, partner, lover. I don't know what else. We need better words. Partner sounds like they're in business. Maybe it is a perfect word. But she talks about how much money unasked for he made in real estate. So sounds like they sniff around the Adelsons in their times of trouble, hoping to pick up a few shekels from them. It's disgusting. Pennies, dollars, whatever. Just an expression. Ay.
Please speak loudly and clearly. You can adjust the microphone as you need.
Good morning.
Just pull that microphone a little over closer to you. There you go.
Okay.
Make sure you speak into it so everyone
Yes,
can
yes,
hear you.
ma'am.
Okay. If you could tell us your name and then spell it for the court reporter.
My name is Anne Elizabeth Cunningham, ANNE ELIZABETH, Cunningham, CUNNINGHAM.
Thank you. Ms. Cunningham, you're aware why we're here today, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I don't want your address, but where do you live?
I live in Naples, Florida,
Okay.
and New Jersey.
Okay. So you spend some time in New Jersey during the year and some time in the state of Florida.
That is correct.
All right. And tell us, what did you do? Are you retired?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And what did you do for your career?
I was a teacher, special education teacher.
Okay. Do you know Donna Adelson?
Yes, I do.
Oh, it scares me, these teachers. These people, these teachers, these doctors, these lawyers, these journalists, nurses, doctors, high level of psychopathy, but I'm going to add teachers. I've seen more disturbing teachers come around in these true crime trials. No offense to anyone who's a teacher or a doctor or nurse, all or a lawyer, all important jobs, but boy.
And how long have you known Miss Adelson?
Since 2009.
Okay. And how is it that the two of you met?
Excuse me?
How did you meet?
We met when my life partner and I drove to Florida and arrived on Christmas Eve, and the only place that was open was a Chinese restaurant, and he bit into a spare rib and cracked his tooth.
Okay.
So he actually went to high school with Harvey, and Harvey was a practicing dentist at the time.
Okay. And what is his name?
Ronald Gutterson.
Okay. And so he cracked his tooth, and what happened?
And he called a mutual friend from high school also and said, who do we know in South Florida who can help me? And our friend mentioned Harvey's name, and we called him, and he came in the next day to treat Ronnie.
Okay. And when you said they went to high school together, that wasn't in Florida, right?
No, it was in Manhattan, New York.
Okay. All right. Very good. So he was able to take care of Ronald?
Yes, he made a special trip. It was Christmas.
Not Brooklyn. Not Brooklyn. It was in Manhattan. Didn't he go to school in Brooklyn? They're both from Brooklyn. I mean, I've lived in both. Brooklyn is actually probably more exciting in some ways now than Manhattan.
Day to come in and care for him.
Okay. And then how did that lead to you meeting Mrs. Adelson?
When Ron returned, he said that he had re-met a former high school classmate of his, and that he was a very lovely man, and that he thought it would be very nice if maybe we had dinner together with his wife.
And did you do that?
We did.
Okay. And from there, did you develop?
Steph Doyle. This is something I noticed. There's a few murderers who've done this job. I was a group home manager for 14 years, and easily half of the people who work with vulnerable people do it so they can control others. That's frightening stuff. But you do see it in these true crime cases. Nurses, and there's a few murders who've gone on to retirement communities, managing vulnerable people in different. I know, it's scary. I agree with you. That's disturbing to have someone with experience back that up.
Develop a strong friendship?
We did. We all got along very well and developed a friendship.
Okay. And when you spent your time in Florida, was that Naples at that point?
No, it was in Southeast Florida, Aventura.
All right. And was that closer to where the Adelsons were living at that time?
Yes, it was.
Okay. So did you spend quite a bit of time together?
We did.
Okay. Socializing?
We did.
Did you travel together at all?
Quite often.
Okay. So you had a lot of contact over the years?
Very much so.
Okay. Did you have the opportunity to speak to her on the telephone when you were away in New Jersey?
Absolutely.
Okay. Would you say you had regular contact throughout?
Regular contact.
Okay. I'm going to tell you, this nice young lady over here, she's typing every word that we're saying, and I have a bad habit.
He went to Stuyvesant, Harvey. That has it's a public school, but it has a really good reputation for academics, and it's in Tribeca area of Manhattan. It's a pretty famous high school here in Manhattan. If you went to Stuyvesant.
Of talking over.
That is in Manhattan. That's why she's probably saying Manhattan. It was Stuyvesant. Yeah, it's one of the top schools, thank you, in the country. I had a friend who went there. people don't really. It's something. It's an excellent school.
Over people, and she will shoot me if I do that. So I'm going to
And I have
try.
a bad habit of speaking quickly.
So you and I are going to need to make sure we wait until the other person finishes before we start to speak. Okay. So you had regular phone contact with Mrs. Adelson while you were in New Jersey each year.
Yes.
And then spending time together while you were in Florida.
So Donna didn't get into Stuyvesant, but her brother did? Or she was just younger, Debbie Martin. So Debbie Martin saying, yes, that's how Harvey met Donna, because he went to school with Donna's brother. Interesting. Thanks. A little piece of Adelson lore I didn't know. Hold on one second. I just don't want to. Sometimes I go backwards.
And you said it started out in Aventura, Florida, and that was close to where she lived. At some point, you got your home then in Naples. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay, but still continued to spend time with the Adelsons.
Yes.
Okay. Did you have an opportunity to meet her children?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I met two of her children.
And who were they?
I met Wendy.
Okay.
And I met Charlie.
Okay. Did you have an opportunity with the Adelsons to spend time with?
I didn't meet Robert because Robert doesn't talk to Donna anymore, so I didn't get a chance. He was estranged, even when. How long have they been friends? Did anyone get how long ago this was? It was hard to know. Was this 12 years ago, 20 years ago? I just met the murderers, always with a smile. But she has such a convincing mask.
Wendy, her children, and Danny.
Yes.
Okay. And you never met Rob?
No.
Okay. All right. How would you best describe Donna Adelson and what you've come to know of her over these many years?
Sustained.
May we approach?
You may.
Thank you.
Objection is overruled on 404 grounds. As to the relevance, let's move to that, Ms. Fulford.
Thank you, Judge. With respect to Mrs. Adelson and your observations of her over these, 15 years, have you found her to be a hateful person?
Never.
Is she aggressive towards others?
Never.
Have you ever heard her threaten anyone?
Never.
Have you ever seen her harm anyone?
Never.
Have you ever heard her threaten to have somebody harmed?
No.
I'm still alive. I see, my friend is still alive. I've never murdered Andy, or else she couldn't testify for me. Wesley, stop. My cat, luckily, is okay now. He's chilling. The little dude is chilling. He does not need to go in or out. He is such a... He's killing my spider plant.
Did she ever make statements to you? Well, let me ask you this first. You were friends with her, obviously, when Wendy was going through her divorce.
Yes.
During that time period, through the divorce, and up to the time that Danny Markel was killed, you're aware that he was murdered?
Yes, I am.
Okay. At any time during that period, did she ever say she wanted to have Danny Markel killed?
Never.
Ever say she wanted him to be harmed?
Never.
She got upset, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And how is it that she displayed her anger over that situation?
She would be frustrated, and then she would calm down, and she told me that she...
Sustained.
Okay, you can't say what she said.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
She had wonderful coping skills. She would punch a pillow when she got angry. She had a punching bag. She had voodoo dolls. What did she? Oh, Lord. She had great anger coping skills. She never got so mad that she planned a murder. I mean, that's a little odd to say that she could keep control of her anger, because this isn't like a crime of passion. Like she got so angry, she just went over and shot Dan Markel, knocked on his door and shot him. Like she said the killers did. She planned this out meticulously and then planned other things. Really, those other things that are listed in the emails to Wendy are really ways to inflict pain. They're really a precursor to murder. Changing the kids' religion, dressing them up in Nazi outfits, doing it in such a public way. It was really just a way to inflict pain. There wasn't any way that he was going to say, he'll want you to stop and then do whatever you want. And then say, go to Miami and then be a irrational, strange mother who changes the kid's religion on a dime. I mean, she thought like, well, if you're going to be a religious zealot, we'll be a religious zealot. But then a Christian Nazi, a Jewish Nazi, it doesn't even, it's just ways to make Dan suffer. It wasn't really a means to an end. It was all just, it's like stalking or any kind of precursor to murder. It was like emotional pain, inflicting emotional pain. Let's get Tiger Cat a door. Thank you, Wesley. We're getting there. We're getting there. The air conditioner's back, by the way, P.S. They brought up a repaired one. Hey, Rockstar60, thanks for becoming a Patreon member. Cat door, thank you for the cat door donation. I appreciate it.
But during that time period, did she ever do anything other than vent to you about it?
Never.
Did she ever claim she was going to do anything about it?
Never.
Okay. Would you say that she is supportive of her children?
Very.
Okay. And she's Jewish. Are you as well?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Did you find her parenting consistent with the traditions of raising Jewish children?
Yes.
You can tell we're Jewish by eating the spare ribs, by eating pork. I mean, I get there's not observant. There's not all Jews are kosher. I get it. But it's just funny, you know.
Okay.
It's funny in the context that we're talking, this is so much of the tension between the families had to do with one, Dan Markel being a conservative observant of kosher laws Jew, and a Jew who was more a liberal, how do you say it? Non-observant, kind of cultural Jewish. Hey, Blue River says, take my money, Roberta, in the chat is fire. I'm so glad. I do have the best, smartest audience on YouTube, I think. I know I'm partial.
There's been some testimony that she kind of managed her kids' lives. Did she give them advice?
Yes.
Did the children, as they were adults, make up their own minds about what they wanted to do?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, you indicated that you would talk on the phone with Miss Adelson. Did you use home phones to do that during some of the period of time?
Pardon me, I'm sorry?
Home phones, like landlines?
Sometimes.
Okay. Did you use cell phones?
Many times.
Okay. Did you travel with Harvey and Donna Adelson?
Many times.
Okay. And as part of your travel, did you go overseas?
Yes.
And in your travel overseas, did you ever use any of the applications that you can put on your phone?
Yes.
Okay.
She's very well rehearsed for this. Did you ever buy a one-way ticket and get arrested on the runway to a non-extradition country with Donna? Did that happen?
And do you recall which applications you all used?
WhatsApp and Viber.
And what was the purpose of using those?
Because you didn't get charged, for, and also to keep in communication if you were on a cruise or on a land trip where you.
Has anyone heard of Viber? I've never even heard of Viber. It sounds like, an adult sex toy, doesn't it? Doesn't it sound like a sex toy? Viber? I've never even heard of it. Dixie Doodles, never heard of it. WhatsApp. What's the other one that was in the last trial? That auto deletes. Help me, I'm forgetting it now. But never Viber. What is this? I can only watch Amy again? Do you mean Annie? With the comments. Thanks. Glad it's making it easy.
Where are you? When are we meeting? Because they were free.
Okay.
It was easy.
So while you were overseas and
Okay, some rando says Viber is huge. I'm out of it. Okay, I'm out of it. Been using for years. I have WhatsApp to communicate with people in, my friends overseas, but to speak with people in China. Thank you, some rando. Interesting.
instead of having to pay increased rates on your cellular plan from the United States, you could use this app for free.
Yes.
Okay. Did you use those apps with Mrs. Adelson to hide any information from law enforcement, like encrypted, so that they wouldn't know what was going on?
No.
Okay. I want to talk to you. I'll lead you forward to the date that Danny Markel was murdered. That was July the 18th of 2014. Do you recall speaking to Mrs. Adelson on that date?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And can you explain to us how you were contacted and the nature of the conversation?
I was called, and Donna was quite hysterical.
Okay.
And she said to me, Danny's been shot.
Do not speak to what anyone said out of court.
Do you notice she almost has a little bit of a Donna voice there? Did you hear that? Her voice totally changed. She totally changed personas. Donna called me. She said Danny's been shot. She's getting into character. She said, tragedy, tragedy. My arch enemy has been killed. Tragedy. Come quick. The man I hate the most in the world is gone. Gibbous has been murdered. Jew in boots down. I mean, what? It's just so ridiculous, this tragedy. They always play the victim, these killers. Always play the victim.
Your Honor.
Please continue.
May we approach, please?
Please approach.
Thank you, Judge. Before we talk about what she might have said to you, at the time that you spoke to Mrs. Adelson, was it the day that...
Just to be clear, I'm not making fun of Dan Markel's murder. I'm making fun of Donna playing the victim. I mean, this is a man she hated, and she's playing victim, something that she did herself. So, don't, just to clear it up, I'm not, not being insensitive. It's just, come on, Donna.
Danny was murdered.
When he was shot, yes.
Okay. And yeah, I use murdered because obviously he didn't pass away until the next day, but
yes,
he was shot and barely surviving on the 18th. So that's when I refer to that. That's why I say that
yes.
date. Okay.
Oh, there's Jackie Fulford again. I appreciate that she's not using euphemisms. So points for that. But then she has to take it even further. I mean, he was shot and he barely survived. He really suffered. She loves to get into the details of his suffering. how he held his hands up. You understand why she runs a funeral home. She loves to get into people's suffering and pain and really just kind of revel in it. It's so dark. She's such a dark figure.
So when you spoke to her, did she call you or did you call her? Do you recall?
She called me.
Okay. And when she called you, did she appear to be upset?
Very.
Was she crying?
Yes.
Was her tone of voice, based on your knowledge of her for the 15 years, did she seem to be upset?
Was she crying? She wasn't crying when she called Robert, but she's crying calling Annie. What did she do? Some sniffles? Tragedy, tragedy. Annie, Annie, Annie. Daddy, who I hate, is dead. It's a tragedy. He was murdered. I mean, how does she know she's crying? She's just saying whatever comes to her mind that she thinks will be helpful. She's been roped in to get Donna out of jail, and she's trying to say anything on the stand. I mean, were her fingers crossed when she took the oath? They might as well have been.
Very.
Okay. Did she seem to be at a point in time where she had just learned what had occurred?
Yes.
Did she indicate to you whether she had just learned that this had happened?
Yes.
Okay.
She did.
I'm sorry?
Yes, she did.
Okay. And during the course of your discussion with her about what had transpired, did she continue with this state of mind that she was upset?
Yes.
Okay. And while she was upset, what did she indicate to you?
She told me that.
So when Donna gets convicted, I mean, what a picture of Donna. I know she's going to be stoic. I wish she would put her head down or have some big reaction, but I don't think she will. And I just want to use that picture of her getting convicted and just tragedy with justice for Dan Markel on the back. That would be my T-shirt. Tragedy over Donna's face.
Danny had been shot, and that they were going to Tallahassee, and that she was very concerned and worried about Wendy and the boys, whether they were in danger.
Okay.
And she did not know who had shot him.
Okay. And did she indicate whether she was concerned about Danny and him being in the hospital?
Absolutely.
Okay. Did she indicate whether she had plans to go to see him at the hospital?
I don't recall.
Okay. During the time that you had this conversation with her, was this the only time that you spoke to her that evening?
I believe so. Maybe one more time.
Okay. And is it your understanding from later discussions with her that she and her husband Harvey actually did come to Tallahassee?
Yes.
Okay. Did you have an opportunity to speak with her later on while she was in Tallahassee?
Yes.
Okay. And did she provide any information to you about a memorial service that took place?
Yes.
Okay. And did she tell you what had transpired at the memorial service?
She told me it was incredibly sad and painful and wrenching.
Okay. And at the time that she was telling you this, did she still was she still very upset about what had happened?
Yes.
Okay. I want to go forward just a little point in time. Did you continue to stay in contact with Mrs. Adelson and her husband from the time that Danny was murdered moving forward?
Yes.
Okay. And you were aware at some point that her son, Charlie Adelson, who you said you had met, was arrested?
Yes, I was.
In the case. Okay. And did you keep up with the case against Charlie in social media or news or anything?
No. Okay. I really.
Although she was watching every minute of Charlie's trial, she didn't keep up on it. Watch this flip coming up. But how did you hear about Charlie Adelson's arrest? Well, Donna called me up. She said, tragedy. There's been a tragedy. Charlie's been arrested. Tragedy. Was she crying? Yes. Yes.
Don't do social media.
Okay.
And of course it was on the news.
Okay. Did you watch it on the news?
As little as possible.
Okay. There came a time that Charlie Adelson was on trial for the charges against him. Were you aware of that?
Yes.
Okay. At that time period, in speaking to Mr. and Mrs. Adelson, was it brought to your attention that
Staying.
at some point, did you allow Mr. and Mrs. Adelson to stay in your home in Naples?
Yes, I did.
For the purpose of watching the trial?
Yes.
Okay. And are you aware that they actually did stay there for a good portion of the trial?
Yes.
All right. And at some point, moving forward, did you become aware that Charlie Adelson was convicted of the offenses with which he was charged?
Yes.
Were you aware that, well, you knew their grandchildren, both of their grandchildren from Danny, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Were you aware that there was a bar mitzvah planned for the younger one in January of 2023? No, 2024.
Yes.
Okay. And did you actually attend that?
Yes.
Okay. Did there come a point in time where after the verdict that you spoke to Mrs. Adelson about what in the world she was going to do?
Yes.
Okay. And did she discuss with you that she had planned?
The answer would call for hearsay. Do you have an exception to offer concerning those?
It's going to go to her state of mind, Judge.
You need to lay the foundation as to why this specifically would go to state of mind, Ms. Fulford.
Thank you. So could you explain to us the behavior, how Mrs. Adelson was acting at the time? Don't tell us what she said yet, but how was she portraying herself at that time? Was she upset?
Yes.
Okay. Did she, how did she express that to you, that she was upset? Not in words, just your observations, hearing her on the phone, etc.
She cried a lot.
Okay.
She was very concerned about Harvey.
Okay.
Very concerned about Charlie.
Okay.
And just.
Donna's crying is a lot like Wendy's crying in that she can turn it on, meaning she acts crying. And then the reason I think it's an act is because a minute later, she talks with full voice, no problem, finding breath, getting out words. It's all a superficial act. You can hear it in her calls with Charlie. She'll be like, Charlie. And then the next minute, she's fine talking. Oh, she's swearing that she's been cut off and talking about how much they're going to charge her for the call that got cut off. Something.
Incredibly sad.
Okay. And during the time that she was sad and worried about Harvey and Charlie, now that he's going to prison for life, you knew that. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So during that, when she's having these emotions, did she tell you that she was planning on track?
Please approach. The objection is sustained. You may continue with your examination of this witness as to any other matters.
Thank you. Mrs. Cunningham, we were talking about the fact that you were speaking to Mrs. Adelson after the verdict came out about her son being convicted, correct?
Yes.
Was she upset about that?
Yes.
Was she crying?
Yes.
Was she, did she appear to be distraught about the circumstances?
Yes.
Was her actions and her words to you when she was discussing this with you, was she in a calm state or an excited state?
Very excited.
Okay. And during the course of her conversation with you in that state, did it become to your attention that Mrs. Adelson was considering an option about her life because all of this had just happened?
Yes.
Okay. And what was that?
She was considering taking her own life.
And if you know, and if you don't, just say you don't, but if you know from those same conversations.
So that's something that we heard her talk about. Doesn't hurt. Hey, you just go to sleep. Do I want to go to sleep and not wake up? Yes. Yes, I do. We've heard those calls. Oh, I'm losing my voice again, guys. Ay. Oh, darn it. Let me get back to where we were. Okay, let's see if I can find it
At that time, was she upset?
Yes.
Okay, we're a little behind.
Very important.
Okay, based on your relationship with Mrs. Adelson, was the bar mitzvah that was upcoming for her.
Right. She's going to this bar mitzvah. This is something that they were going to come back for the bar mitzvah. Give me a break. No way.
Younger grandson from Mr. Markel. Was that something that she was participating in?
Yes.
Was she excited about attending?
Very.
I don't have anything further.
Cross-examination.
This is an excellent cross-examination by Georgia. She's so good with these liars. You're lying on the stand. You do not want to go up in front of Georgia Kappelman.
Are you familiar with the defendant's statement that she could be buried in the bar mitzvah dress that she bought?
No, I'm not.
I guess if she was going to be buried in that dress, she probably wasn't, at least at the time she made that statement, going to be making it to the bar mitzvah. Would you agree?
No, she was always going to be making it to the bar mitzvah, as far as I knew.
Even if she was dead and buried, she was going to make it.
I never heard that.
Okay. Was she?
I never heard that. This is get ready for this statement. I never heard that. I'm not familiar with that, or I don't recall. Get ready. Commissary Tuna says believing in Donna Charlie just because. I think she knows. I'm pretty sure. I was under the. I got the impression. This is my impression of Anne Cunningham. Is that she knows Donna murdered Dan Markel. She's okay with it. And that she'll do everything to help her murder her friend. I mean, nobody could sit through Charlie's trial and believe that extortion defense. I don't think she's so in denial. I think she tells other people, pretends that she's in denial. But I don't think she has an issue with Donna murdering Dan Markel. And I think that if she had issues with someone, that she would do it too. And think if she thought she could get away with it. What happened to that first husband? Commissary Duty. That's my impression. Let me know what yours is if you think I'm off. She's another dark figure around Donna Adelson. Dark personality.
Were you suicidal when you spoke with her after Charlie's verdict?
Yes.
I mean, a decent person says, I'll take the stand and help you, but I'm not going to lie for you. Right? I don't know. She's happy to lie for her friend who's on trial, whose son got convicted of murder. So you have to think that everyone who's been involved in this case has got convicted. She doesn't think that the chances are that Donna did this. She wasn't born yesterday. I get that people close to people, I don't know, they publicly go into denial, but I think they know. They just can't handle the shame, so they publicly defend their son, etc., and get involved in the wrongful conviction movement. Usually highly narcissistic mothers.
Okay. You were best friends with her.
Yes.
Okay. And she would call and vent to you about Danny Markel.
Sometimes.
All right. And did she ever call him names?
Not to my knowledge, not to me.
Did she share with you that she was planning to offer a bribe to Mr. Markel to facilitate relocation?
That's my theory, Sarah. I think Donna crafted both stories. She's looking up the word extortion, and then Charlie's on this stand demanding that Catherine McManawa be called the extortionist and not the blackmailer. There's a huge difference. I think Donna I think she was writing scripts for both Dan Rashbaum and Charlie. I think she wrote a lot of that direct. And although Charlie put it in his own words, he was like, I'm not repeating my mom's corny dialogue. She thought, and Charlie thought, if they had a reason for everything, that was a reasonable doubt. It's just having a reason. It doesn't have to be reasonable, just a reason. If you have an alternate story, that's reasonable doubt. Unfortunately, that's not it has to be believable and likely and more believable than the state's case. Or you have to have a huge innocence fraud campaign and pressure the courts from the outside that's successful and have a judge that's willing to let it flood in. That's how you get off. Or politics, like in OJ, you have a police force that's hugely hated. It was just a way of punishing the
I don't
state.
recall.
Did she talk to you about plans to threaten or to convert the children to Christianity in order to strong-arm Mr. Markel?
She mentioned that she had said that, and she said that was so foolish of me.
When did she say that?
I don't know whether we were together or on a phone call. I'm not sure.
Did she ever tell you that she was being extorted in reference to Mr. Markel's murder?
Eventually, yes.
Okay, and when you say eventually, when did she tell you that?
We were on a trip to Japan together.
TB2, you might have a point with Josh Zellman, but Jackie Fulford was a lawyer. A judge. I don't know how much more competent you get as a lawyer than being a judge. Her crosses are decent. She's just doesn't have a lot to work with. You might have, I don't know. She's probably going to appeal on that issue. Ineffective assistance of counsel. They usually do.
Okay, when was the trip to Japan?
We took so many trips. I'm not exactly sure of the year.
Was it between the murder and the first arrests?
I don't recall.
Okay. And when she told you that she was being extorted, then naturally you learned that she knew who had killed Dan Markel.
No.
Obviously, it's the people that are extorting her, right?
She didn't know what. Are you talking about? Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
She was forced to make payments to the people that killed Dan Markel.
Yes.
That's what the checks were all about, right?
I don't know about the checks.
Well, when she told you she was being extorted, if it wasn't about the checks, how was she being extorted?
She was. I'm confusing that with the bump. I believe that Charlie was being extorted by Catherine.
Prior to the bump, you knew that Charlie was being extorted by Catherine.
No, I believe it was afterwards.
After the bump, you learned that Charlie was being extorted by Catherine.
I'm not sure of the timeline.
Okay. And when you learned that Charlie was being extorted by Catherine, you learned that your best friend, Donna Adelson, was also being forced to write these checks.
Wait, just a little context. Wasn't Donna writing Anne Cunningham that the truth is finally out? So she couldn't have known about Catherine McManaway extorting Charlie Adelson. No one knew, right? Until Charlie's trial. They were all happy to watch Catherine McManaway get serve and get a life sentence in prison. So no, nobody, she couldn't have known. She's confused about what she's supposed to say. It's so obvious.
As payment to the killers that were extorting.
I don't recall.
And when the phone call was made to you, you were saying, I guess it was the night of the verdict, you got the phone call and she was very upset and suicidal and so forth. What was your phone number at that time?
I believe my cell number.
Okay, what's your cell number? Just give me the last 4 digits. If you want to.
1655.
And did you watch the trial of Charlie Adelson?
At the very end.
Okay, and during the trial of Charlie Adelson, were you in regular communication with your best friend, Donna Adelson?
Yes, but we didn't really discuss the trial.
Well, would it refresh your recollection to review your text messages during the trial?
Yes, it's a long time ago.
Okay. An approach. Show you those. I'm going to just draw your attention to I've circled a few here, but you're
Sure.
free to look at as many as you need to for context.
Oh, yes, this part I do recall.
You can show if that's the same message as you're referring to.
So you did keep some tabs on your friend during the trial of her son?
Yes.
Okay, and she was watching the trial of her son, as we learned, at your residence, right?
Yes.
Okay. And when Charlie Adelson was convicted, you disagreed with the verdict, right?
Yes.
You think the jury got it wrong, didn't you?
Yes.
And that was out of loyalty to your friend, right?
No, I thought they got it wrong.
They got it wrong. Okay. And you, in fact, said to Mrs. Adelson, I know you are all innocent, all caps, all, right?
Yes.
Meaning Charlie's innocent.
Yes.
Wendy's innocent.
Definitely.
No Adelson had anything to do with the murder of Dan Markel. Isn't that what you think?
Yes.
Okay. And when she went to Vietnam, or was trying to go to Vietnam to clear her head, she was going to clear her head in a non-extradition country. Can you agree with that?
I wasn't aware it was non-extradition.
Okay. She was going to clear her head with a one.
Okay, this is why I played that tape before this. She's busted. You don't have, I mean, maybe one mention of non-extradition country. You could say maybe she wasn't paying attention, but clearly she was paying attention and involved. You can hear her in the background saying, well, is Wendy gonna tell somebody? And the whole point of the conversation was to talk to Wendy, who's an immigration lawyer. The whole point of reading that email was that we need help with this getting a visa and making sure the country that we go to is a non-extradition country.
One-way ticket to go do the head clearing.
She had no idea how long they were staying or where they would go.
Are you familiar with her statement that she's hoping to make it out of the airport on time?
Yes.
Hoping to make it out before what?
No, she meant the plane was on time.
No, ma'am. I'm referring to.
Wasn't she the one who was over? Wasn't it Annie and Ron who were over? Or were there the other people who was there? Those were all the people around them at the time. If you look at her lists, talk to Annie about this. I mean, she's in the inner circle of the Adelsons. It was Susan. Okay. Thanks. But she's in the inner circle of the Adelsons. She's watched Charlie's trial. She knows. I wasn't aware it was non-extradition. Come on.
Hoping to make it out before law enforcement apprehended her. You aware of that?
No.
She didn't say that statement to you.
I don't recall really.
Okay. Do you remember Mrs. Adelson texting you after the verdict and complaining that Wendy had not even called?
No, I don't.
Would it refresh your recollection to review that message?
Fine.
Pretty sure it was fine.
That's the bottom message on this page I'm handing you.
Which one?
Bottom one.
Yes.
Does that refresh your memory?
I remember her describing Harvey being on the floor and crying like a baby.
Harvey's on the floor crying like a baby, and Wendy hasn't even called, right? Isn't that what it says? If she wrote that, didn't you just see where she wrote that?
I did. She wrote that.
I mean, she's trying to paint herself as someone who was just emotionally manipulated by the Adelsons. I don't think that's who this woman is. She knows. She knows she did it. I mean, what are the chances that Katie McManus, she really thinks Katie McManus that they did this on spec and then Charlie was put on a very reasonable payment plan by the Latin Kings? Come on. I mean, I love when I get comments from people who support the Adelsons. Half the time I think it's Harvey Adelson himself or one of their friends. You know? They're like unicorns. I mean, in true crime, you are going to offend someone. And let me tell you, I offend a lot of people, you know, with my very strong opinions. On the cases I talk about. But in this case, almost everyone universally agrees that these guys are guilty, except Anne Cunningham.
And you offered to come and be with her during that difficult time, didn't you?
I believe we did.
One moment, please, Your Honor.
I'm with you, Patricia. You would bet your house. I don't have a house. I rent, but you would bet your house that this lady knows that Donna did this? I think so too. I think she's another Donna to me. She likes being in on the criminal, the excitement of criminality. And she has a very fake public face.
What type of work does your husband do, or did he do?
Oh, this is her partner, right? And this is where she volunteers how much money her partner made in real estate. Listen to this. It turned my stomach.
Before my late husband? Sorry, I thought you had, maybe it's not your husband. Partner?
Partner.
Is that Mr. Gutterson?
Yes.
What type of work does he do, or what's his background?
He owned a computer consulting business.
Okay. Does he also do anything with real estate?
He did it with his ex-wife. They flipped apartments a lot. They moved a lot.
Okay.
Made a lot of money in real estate.
No further questions.
Redirect examination.
Just make sure I understand your testimony correctly. Donna didn't tell you at the time she was writing checks that she was writing checks, correct?
No.
And when you spoke about extortion, you were talking about Charlie being extorted?
Yes.
Donna, did she ever say she was actually being extorted or
No.
how? Okay.
No.
Okay. Now, you were asked questions by the state, which implied that Ms. Adelson was going to a non-extradition country. She wasn't returning, right?
That's what I was told.
Just now while you were testifying?
Yes.
You didn't hear that before?
No.
Did Donna ever tell you she wasn't coming back?
Never.
In fact, she told you she was coming back, didn't she?
Definitely.
And she was coming back without a doubt to go to what?
Lincoln's bar mitzvah.
Okay. I don't have anything further.
You may step down. Will this witness be recalled by the defense or?
It's like the little kids lie. You know what I mean? They've been quizzed. It's like when they used to do flashcards or something with a kid. Oh, I know this one. She's coming back for what? Lincoln's bar mitzvah. Correct. Shuffle the card. Next card. Maybe a really old reference. Do kids still use flashcards?
Potentially in rebuttal. Will this witness be recalled by the defense?
No, Judge, I'm sorry, I didn't.
You are released, Ms. Cunningham.
Excuse me?
You are released.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Please call your next witness.
Your defense, the next witness would be Ron Gutterson.
Yeah, Justice James, you mean Fiends? That was the name of this episode. With a little help from my Fiends. Did I spell friends wrong in another way? I don't know. Sometimes it happens. Let's move on. We'll get back to Gutman. It's very much like, let's get to when you see with his partner beaming from the audience here, he does another performance. It's just, we don't have time for it today. We can go back and do it another day, but she returns at the end here. Sorry, I was rushing to get this done. I was cutting out all these long pauses in Jackie Fulford's testimony, and she comes back here from the airport, pulled back from the airport to testify again. Let's take a listen.
Thank you. If you could pull that microphone down, Ms. Cunningham.
Oh, sure.
Thank you. I have a question about your use of cell phone service, and we touched briefly on things like WhatsApp, and what was the other one you said you use?
Viber.
Okay, Viber. When you communicated with Mrs. Adelson, did you routinely use one of those apps?
Quite often, yes.
Which app did you use mostly?
WhatsApp or Viber.
Okay, all right. And as opposed to picking up and using the cell phone service, you would use those instead?
Yes.
Okay, I don't have anything further.
Cross-examination.
So you had gone to the airport after your last testimony, right?
That is correct.
And returned to the courthouse?
Yes.
To tell us what, that you used Viber or WhatsApp to make
Yes.
that phone call?
Yes.
So it wasn't a regular phone call?
Correct.
Okay, so you misspoke earlier, or it just wasn't clear?
No, I said she called me.
Okay, and she called you and made a regular phone call on June 23rd, the month before the murder, right?
I don't recall. She made many phone calls.
And she called you on a regular line on July 20th, just 2 days after the murder. Do you recall that?
If you say so.
Okay, and July 21st.
The objection.
Yeah, the witness is not being shown the evidence that she's being confronted with.
I believe she is not asked,
you.
or she is not asked to recall, or let me clear this up. Ms. Cunningham, do you need to see the items that the state is referring to refresh your recollection?
Do I?
Would
Yes,
you like
if
to see them?
if I spoke with her, I spoke with her.
I really don't need to see the evidence. I know I'm lying. If I spoke with her, I spoke with her. I speak with her on the regular phone every other time, but now I'm vibing. Sometimes we like to vibe. Donna, I like to vibe. Occasionally I vibe with Annie. Annie and I vibe together.
Okay, so you have no reason to contest that you spoke with her via regular phone call June 23rd, July 20th, and July 21st.
If it's on the record, yes.
But you're saying it was a WhatsApp or a Viber on the 18th.
Yes, they were in the car, and they often called on those apps in the car.
Would it surprise you to learn that WhatsApp didn't offer voice calls until March of 2015?
Then it was on Viber.
Must have been Viber, huh? Nothing further.
Redirect examination of the witness. You may step down, Ms. Cunningham. All right. We are certain she's good to leave at this point.
That I thought was such a burn. So you know WhatsApp? You couldn't call on WhatsApp in 2015. Oh, we were vibing then. When did Viber? Let's look up. Did anyone look up Viber when they got? I mean, are we supposed to think Viber was so ahead of technology? Oh, yeah, they did. They added voice support for Windows phones on 2013. But what kind of phone did she have? Did she have a Windows phone? Hold on. I'm doing some research here. History. It was founded in Israel. Oh, okay. Cool. And it was run from Israel, but it was registered in Cyprus. Okay. Applications. So you could talk on 2010 BlackBerry. Is it just a way to phone people, or is it just like a messaging thing? All right, I'm going to do some research and get back to you guys. But I wonder if they really had the technology either. That's what I'm wondering. Right. I'm going to end this episode the way I usually do. You know, now I'm angry at myself because I wish I pulled up all of Donna's things. Do I have them here? All her lists before where she was like, no, this is something else, I believe. You know, the list she made to get ready. And Anne Cunningham was so much on those lists. That's how I remembered her name, is that she was on all those lists that Donna was doing as she was preparing to leave to a non-extradition country. Tell Annie to do this, call Annie about that. All right, I'm going to end the way I usually do. This episode's with a victim impact statement. This was written, let me see, am I sharing now? Let me share my screen. In Sigfredo Garcia and Catherine McManus' trial, Judge Hankinson, dear Judge Hankinson, I'm writing to offer a victim impact statement on behalf of Dan Markel in relation to the above noted cases. To me, Dan was a fellow legal scholar who, over time, became a treasured intellectual colleague and ultimately a dear friend. I know I am only one of many people whose relationship with Dan followed that same trajectory. Dan and I started our academic careers around the same time. I met him in 2005 at a conference for junior criminal law professors where he was presenting a draft article, one, it turned out, he would never publish, though he worked on it from time to time over the next decade, worrying over and revising a draft until he was entirely satisfied was typical Dan, though somehow it didn't impede his output. I have never met a scholar so exacting who was also so productive. The paper, the presentation, and most especially his interaction with questioners highlighted traits I would come to associate with Dan as a thinker: bold, thorough, dogged in defending his position, yet genuinely interested in hearing concerns and reactions that might help him refine or improve it. We grew closer as our careers progressed, and for several years we co-organized a regular colloquium of criminal law scholars held at rotating locations in New York City every month or two. I say co-organize in quotes because Dan did all the work. My role was mostly to give this New York City colloquium some actual formal connection to New York City, since I taught at Brooklyn and Dan was officially in Florida, though he came up for every gathering. The email notification list, which Dan curated, grew to include people from all over the world because Dan had so many connections and didn't want to leave anyone out of the opportunity of being involved. And indeed, we attracted speakers from all over the country, as well as Canada, Israel, and everywhere else. I just returned to New York City after 3 years elsewhere and am currently working with others to revive what we will now be called the Markelliquium. As it happens, we just scheduled our first pair of speakers this week. In what proved to be the last years of his life, in addition to work-related interactions, Dan and I saw each other regularly for coffee or drinks, sometimes with others, sometimes just us. We also spoke often by phone. Dan's back bothered him, and he would go for long walks and call me, and I'm certain many other friends, to pass the time. He was funny. He was generous. He cared about what was happening in my life. He shared what was happening in his. He was, in short, all you would want in a friend. But unusually, in my experience at least, for a well-known peer, he was also sort of a role model. I viewed him not only with affection, but with admiration. He was a devoted and dedicated professor, and when he became a father, he was even more devoted and dedicated to his children, yet somehow without slowing down professionally. Most of all, I admired that even in the most difficult times, he was filled with joy and gratitude for his life and its blessings. In 2011, Dan was chosen by a brand new criminal law journal at the University of Virginia to be the centerpiece in an inaugural volume. An event was organized for him to give a lecture and several others. I was one to offer commentary, all which would then be published as the debut issue of the journal. The journal's selection of a scholar so relatively young and junior as the very first person to honor in this way left me amazed, and I must say jealous, but not surprised. This is what I said about Dan at the event before addressing the substance of his remarks. If you look at Dan's resume, you will see that he is one of the most prolific young scholars out there, but not only about punishment theory, but about a number of other things as well. What you won't see is that Dan is also one of the most voracious, generous, and diligent readers of other people's work, and someone who offers such thorough and useful and helpful comments and suggestions to other people that not only through his work, which is more than enough for him to hang his hat on, but also through the way that he has crafted and improved other people's work, it is clear that Dan is one of the most significant and influential criminal theorists of his and my generation. It's pretty high praise. One of the small comforts I have taken in the wake of Dan's death is my gratitude for having the opportunity to offer that praise to him and about him in his presence while he was alive. But that comfort is utterly dwarfed by my remorse in knowing that I and an entire intellectual community have lost. And that loss endures. It is ongoing. In July, my law school hosted the annual 2-day CrimFest conference, which brought together more than 100 scholars from around the country, a conference Dan started and for a time presided over as both sage and animating spirit. Every year I think Dan should still be here. However long I am given for my own professional life, I will never stop thinking that. Dan Markel was brilliant and beloved. He was in every way full of life, but he was denied his fill of life. He had much more to give over many years to his friends, his colleagues, his community, and his family. That has all been taken away. Very truly yours, Michael T. Cahill. He wrote that in 2019 when he was at Brooklyn Law School. That is what I have for today, guys. Please hit the thumbs up on your way out. Subscribe to the channel. Share this episode. Leave me a comment. I do get so much out of your comments. I will make a correction in this episode. If you'd like to support the channel, and this is a listener-supported channel, links are in this and every episode. Buy me a coffee, Venmo, Patreon, all great ways to support the channel. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 8:25. We'll watch day 8 of Donna Adelson's trial together. Have a great night, everyone.
What a stitch you're in. You plotted a murder 'cause you wanted to raise your daughter's kid. Tallahassee is just a stop on the way to civilization. Miami is where all the fancy people are. The TV is a Power 5. You can't get away from that. Two-toe, tay-toe, hoo-ho, you know the guy you pay, and you can't get away from that. Oh, Donna, what a stitch you're in. You thought jail was just for the little people, but now you're so blankets with the locked-up crew. You're a grandmother in lockdown, and your one-way ride to freedom you blew. What a stitch you're in. Your family are exiled from the social circles you swam in. We all know you never made that banana bread or offered to babysit for Dan. But you'll soon be making license plates and thinking about what could have been.